MG Rob back with you, and today we're going to be looking at Project Ginsu, my LS1 MGBGT. So it's been 3 years in progress up to this point, and I have 3 years worth of work done to it that there's no footage of. I never did anything on YouTube with. So we're going to catch you guys up on YouTube on everything that's been done to it up till now. All right, so this is Project Ginsu. It's a 71 MGB GT with an LS1 T56 transmission and BMW 3 Series IRS underneath of it. So I originally acquired this car about 10 years ago from a customer of mine that was also a really good friend. He originally purchased the car to do a project with, and then we ended up going with a different car and using a few parts off this one for the other car. So he wanted to be a part of this project when I told him about it, but sadly he passed away long before I was able to actually start it. So I am using this car, which makes him a part of the project and to me. So then I brought the car into the shop and test fitted this engine and transmission just to see if what I thought was going to work for what I wanted to accomplish was going to actually work, or if I had to change up my plans. And then I put it back outside for a little while till I could actually make room to bring it in permanently and actually get a start on it. So after bringing it in for good, I stripped it down to the bare shell, put it on the rotisserie, scraped off all the excess undercoating, knocked all the loose rust out of it, and sent it off and had it blasted. Brought it back in here, and then I built this jig underneath of it. Now the way I designed this jig was I was able to bolt the car down, like here's the sway bar mounts, holes. I originally bolted it down to those mounts along with the transmission crossmember mounts, and also had it welded to a frame in the back where I had it hooked to the mounts for the springs. But this was set up with multiple holes in it here so that as I cut the car I could slide things around and keep everything square and solid. So once I got the thing solid on the jig, I made my first cuts. Now where I cut it was right down inside this frame rail, right on up through here, across the firewall, up here through the cowl, and up the A-post, and then across the roof. On the back side, I cut it just inside the frame rails across the edge of the trunk and right up through here. And then pulled the whole side of the body out. And that's where all these extra holes come into play, because then I could pull it out, set it, lock it down at the final width that I wanted once I determined the exact width, and have everything solid, and then fill in all the gaps. Now I originally had in mind that more than likely I'd be pulling this out about 1.25 inches, but what I did was once I pulled it out, I used tape over this to kind of look and see how far can I go with that and still make that windshield post actually look right when I'm done. And it ended up being 1.25 inches. So once I got the width set, what you can see here, I haven't done the hatch yet. I started rebuilding these areas like this here. So once I got the width set, that left me with a bit of a problem with the A post here. Now, since I pulled this out, this line here was terrible. Couldn't make it match up very well at all. It wasn't going to look right. So I ended up just cutting the whole center of the roof out, just getting rid of the roof for now. And then I cut across the cowl here and actually cut 1/4 inch out of there and slid this whole windshield assembly forward. A 1/4 inch. That allowed me to be able to get this line here to actually work out. Well, I think it's probably enough for part 1. So look for part 2 coming up here pretty soon. I don't know how many videos it's going to take to get us up to where we are right now, but we'll find out. So this is MG Rob. Later.